Hello and thanks for watching. My name is Angel Vilar and I am a systems engineer at VMware. This video complements the VMware blog post called Use a Zero Trust Approach to Protect Against WannaCry. Particularly, we are going to see the demo for step 2. Enable environmental redirection rules to an NSX integrated IPS solution. Let's start by reviewing the NSX firewall rules. Here we can see there is a quarantine section on which all traffic to from the quarantine group is blocked. If we check the quarantine group members, we can see it's initially empty. Also, on the default section, we can see the default rule is set to allow. If we move to the Partner Security Services tab, we can see it's initially empty, so there are no redirection rules to any partner service. Let's go to the Service Composer. Here we can see there are two groups created. One is Critical Systems, which has already 3 VMs, one app volumes, one Windows 10 and one Windows 7 VM. And also we have the Quarantine group, which, as we have saw before, is initially empty. If we check its membership criteria, we can see the group has been defined so that any VM that has a security tag assigned that contains the keyword anti_virus will belong into this group. So as soon as the security partner detects an infection in the VM, this tag will automatically be added to the VM, and so NSX will put it automatically into quarantine. We will see it during the demo. Let's move into security policies, which is where we define which traffic and which VMs will be analyzed by the security partner. We will create a new security policy. In this case, we will call it Antivirus File Integrity Monitoring Host IPS and Network IPS, because this policy will combine the 4 features. Once we are done with the name, we will click on Next, and we are going to define the guest introspection rules, which are the ones that take care of what happens inside the VM, its processes, file integrity monitoring, etc. We give it a descriptive name, so we will call it Antivirus File Integrity Monitoring and Host IPS. We select the service, we need to look for the security partner here, and that's it. Enabled and enforced. We click OK. And the next step is to go into the network introspection services, which are the services that take care of the network traffic. In this case, we are going to redirect specific traffic to a network IPS provided by this security partner. So we click on Add, and here we will add 2 rules, one for the traffic towards our VMs and another one for the traffic from our VMs. Let's define the first rule. We will call it network IPS outbound. We select redirect to service. The partner service is already configured. Source is the security group to which we will apply this policy, meaning we can analyze traffic only for a selected number of VMs in our environment. We don't need to redirect all traffic to this partner security service, and as destination we keep any. In service, again, we have a choice. We can redirect all ports to this partner, but since we are interested on port TCP 445, we are going to filter and redirect to the partner IPS only traffic on port TCP 445. We click OK. The rule is enabled. We enable logging, and finally click OK again. Now we are going to define the second rule for inbound traffic. We call it network IPS in. Action is redirect to service, and the partner service is already pre-selected. Now we are going to change source and destination because we are monitoring traffic the other way around. So as source we select any, and as destination automatically we have selected the group to which we will apply this security policy. Again, in service we are going to filter. We only want to redirect traffic on port TCP 445 to the partner IPS. So we look for the service, we select it and click OK. So the rule is enabled. We are going to enable logging, and finally click OK once more. And we have already finished the definition of the policy, so we can click on Finish. So here we have our antivirus, file integrity monitoring, host IPS and network IPS policy, which has one guest introspection rule for monitoring activity on the VM and two network IPS rules to analyze traffic on port TCP 445. So the last thing pending is to assign this policy to the specific group of VMs we want to have analyzed. So we click on Assign Security Policy, and from the existing groups we click on our critical systems, which are the ones we want to be analyzed by the security partner. If we move back to the Firewall tab, we can see that now we have Partner Security Service redirection rules which have been created automatically, so we can see traffic from our VMs on port TCP 445 is redirected to the partner network IPS, who will drop it in case it finds malicious activity. On the General tab, nothing has changed, and we can see the quarantine group is still empty. Also, I want to make it clear that there are multiple security partners that integrate with NSX to provide advanced network services and guest introspection services. The list is available publicly on the VMware.com website. Now let's go back to the lab to see the integration in action. So we are taking control of a Windows 7 VM, which is monitored by the partner security services. We first check its IP address, which is 172.16.50.10, and we start a continuous ping towards another system in the environment, 192.168.110.10. Then we are going to copy an infected file from a temporary folder which has been excluded from analysis for the lab purposes towards the desktop, which is being monitored by the partner. So we click on copy, and then go into the desktop and click on paste. So in a matter of seconds we will see how the ping stops, and actually we will lose connectivity because we are taking the VM remotely. So here it is, the ping doesn't move anymore. So let's go back into NSX and see what's happened. So we can see the VM has been automatically moved into the quarantine group, and this is why the connection has been lost. So the security partner has detected the infection, has notified NSX, and the VM is automatically blocked with no operator action required. If we look at the details of the VM, we can see it's being automatically assigned a security tag indicating that a virus has been found on it. And this is the reason why this VM has been automatically put into quarantine. This integration proves that working with the security ecosystem, NSX can detect vulnerabilities or infections and block the affected VMs automatically so that infections don't spread in your systems. And this concludes the demo for step 2. Don't forget to check all other demos for this blog post. Thank you.